Okay. It's happening. I have to admit I was a tad nervous. I haven't been happy in recent years with Netflix adaptations of young adult material. I thought Lock and Key was garbage. I thought the Winx saga was garbage. I think they should both be rated far lower than they currently are. So when the announcement trailer for Shadow and Bone came out, I got that deja vu bad feeling like they were going to mess this one up too. And now after seeing the trailer, I'm kind of stoked. I mean, first off, the production value looks badass. Like they really went top of the line. Great effects, great color, great tone. And maybe I'm wrong, but the acting in the trailer makes it look like they're going for a more adult vibe, not that 13-year-old middle school bullshit that they did with the prior shows I just mentioned. And I like that because they didn't have to make it dark. It is a young adult series and by definition could have been a little on the lighter side, but just looking at the shadow fold and the creatures in the shadow fold, like maybe not what you want your kids to watch. That has nightmares written all over it, and as an adult who likes more darker tones, I'm here for it, especially because I think it will help as a storytelling block of like just how much pain has been inflicted on Ravka from the shadow fold and all the death and destruction it's created. So making the show darker pushes that narrative really far. And just as a brief note, we got a small look at some of the work of the Grisha, and I'm really impressed with the effects that are going into that. The squalors and inferni that are seen in it don't look like the same pathetic magic production that we see again in the absolute terrible show that is the Winx saga. So in short, based on the trailer, I think it's going to be a really badass show, and I do have a couple grievances to air though on who is cast as who. As a fan of the books, they're not exactly being true to the descriptions of the characters, which I know can be hard to cast, but in these books in particular, I'm not going to spoil things, but so much of who these characters are defined by how they look. I can't get into it without giving too much away, but Alina, for instance, is said to be pale and sour, whatever that means. Mal, on the other hand, is supposed to be a real hit with the ladies, and I mean, I'm a straight male, maybe my sense is off a little bit, but this guy doesn't scream lady killer to me. And the biggest one that gets me out of all of these is about Zoya. In The King of Scars, there is a line that says, "I once saw a student set fire to his own hair because he was so busy looking at Zoya." It's on page 132, and there's a million others of those quotes throughout the series. She is supposed to be the most beautiful woman ever. Like ever. Her entire identity is around how she looks. Same with Genya, for that matter. She's a tailor. She can make herself look like anyone, and in the books, she is also amazingly stunning. But we got a brief glimpse of her in the trailer, and I think she's a bit more to her character's description. And I know that people will get mad at this, that there is a guy sitting here talking about that a woman isn't as beautiful as she could be, but I'm not trying to be a dick about the actress. I'm trying to point out what this does to the story. Characters are written in a certain way to progress and add to the story, and the beauty of Zoya, if you've read The King of Scars, is such a huge piece of why she is the cold-hearted person that she is. It's a part of the book, so I'm not saying this because I wish I could look at more beautiful women while I'm watching the show. I'm saying it because if they want to stay true to the storyline like they should, it won't feel as authentic if the characters don't meet their descriptions. Again, especially because of how much Leigh Bardugo leans on making looks a part of her story in this series. I think the only character I saw in the trailer that matches the description almost perfectly is the Darkling. He's got the cocky, dark air to him, handsome as hell just as described. They did a really good job there. And lastly, the books harp really hard on Russian culture and folklore, and it's also pretty clear that they're doing the same with the show and stayed true to that. I like that a lot with the uniforms and the landscape and all that, so that looks great. I'm a big fan of that. Anyways, stoked to see the first season. I hope it lives up to the hype of the trailer because I really think they did a good job putting that together and showing a nice arc of what we will see. Let me know down below what you thought of it, and let me know what you think of the actors and who they're playing. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Certainly don't want to cause a fight, but it's just my opinion. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.